I fuck up, man.
I mean, I make it over 1 million story on Facebook. He said, fuck up, man.
Man, damn, fuck up.
And then we would do it in May, but I'm me and you.
Go do it. Why you there? Oh, who you know who actually died?
No, why that big started? But I don't beg you. I don't beg you start. Why don't do that shit? Oh.
Hey, I say y'all want me
Why
in the fries.
We're not doing that.
It's going live.
No. We're not gonna be promoting nobody that on the platform.
No,
we beg you, yeah.
No, just joking.
Yeah, we're promoting nobody that on the platform.
Yeah, we're back in the fries, man.
We're really back in the fries. Smitty, I am loving your bow. It's so cute. So pretty. You should turn around. Let them see it.
Look at the bow.
We can see.
We can see you.
We can see. Go the other way. Go the other way.
The girl got swat.
She's getting married. It's giving bride
Can I
to
touch
be.
No, it's white.
Let white
so you trying to say
Like
my
her
hands
white
dirty?
toenails.
No, it doesn't white your color. It's going to excite you too much.
Because
like
she's
that, though.
pure. That's why she has the white.
Emily,
It's cream.
just by looking at you, right, you melt my heart.
Thank you. I came to match our new logo, the In the Fries logo. So I had to pull out the yellow.
But my brother Joel didn't even come to play because the man brought the whole crumbs.
No, man, no, cool
Yeah.
right now.
That's what's up, my boy.
You're trying to stay warm. You're trying to stay warm.
You know, another struggle I go through in America and the weather.
I know.
Struggle by yourself.
Yeah, but we love it.
Whenever you're feeling too cold, I always tell you, your iron low.
Yeah.
Your iron is low. That's the reason why you feel cold.
You see, you know what the thing about Liberian people?
You're supposed to feel- You're supposed to feel cold.
No, now go like
Listen.
No. On the ground.
No, Joe, what a crew man. Myself a crew man, right?
Uh-huh.
Our biggest sickness would have suffered from rheumatism, but I bought only 2 ice cream. I mean, I feel cold for real. Oh, how you feel cold for real?
Well, maybe he needs to go get his vitamin D level check.
No,
he needs
no,
to get his
no,
iron
no.
check.
His iron low.
He
I'm
need to
telling
go
you,
do
but
blood work.
Yeah, iron low.
I
You do need some fish oil.
that.
Fish oil help.
Some fish oil.
I think fish oil is good for iron. Yeah.
Y'all ready for today's
Omega
episode?
Yeah, we're ready.
Y'all sure y'all ready? All right, well.
What we diving into?
We gotta welcome the people to In the Fries now.
Oh,
We gotta be proper. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of In the Fries. We're so happy you're here, lovely co-hosts. We don't need to do introduction anymore.
I think they both know already.
And people know us.
They definitely know you.
They
No,
do.
know us. They know you guy and I let causing trouble.
Today we're going to be talking all about religion. It's going to be hot and heavy.
That's a very touchy
Why don't we,
topic.
I think it'd be cute if everybody says their religious basis so we understand what we're working from.
We should. So we should start with you.
Born and raised Jehovah Witness, and right now I'm just spiritual and Christian.
You're floating.
And floating.
And I'm floating. I can't be Jehovah Witness, so I'm Christian.
A Christian?
Okay. I need to ask later what's the difference, but we'll come back to that.
Baptist.
Okay. Let Nabil go.
Like, your own religion.
I'm not restricted to
Talk
man's society.
The men's society.
Yeah, I classify religion as a society. Yeah, I like to say that.
Yeah, that was difficult child. You know how when you got plenty of children, there's always that one child. There's always that problem child.
Didn't say spiritual. He just said,
He's our problem child, but we still love you.
No, I'm right. I mean,
welcome you.
I don't restrict myself to normal man belief.
Okay.
And religion is a society. It's the biggest society in the world. Yeah.
And that reason you go find yourself in the mountain, like, bro, you go to the mountain.
Anyway, I am born and raised Christian. Yes, Baptist, but it's all the same to me.
Oh, me, I'm born and raised Christian, but currently I can't tell last time I went to church, so right now I just practicing how to talk to God myself. So how we would communicate between me and Him.
I love that.
Praise. Start with small prayer.
Yeah.
That's
I love
beautiful.
That. I love that.
That's beautiful. Knowing God for yourself.
I think that's important.
That's
Okay.
amazing. Yeah.
That's important.
That's
now, I
amazing.
just want Smitty to give us a little difference between being Jehovah Witness and being Christian.
Christians call God by God, depending on their denomination.
Okay.
We call God Jehovah because that's what the Bible says.
Okay.
We have certain rules and beliefs that hold us. Honestly, you ever like Mormons? Jehovah Witnesses and Mormons were kind of the same people until about the 1940s, 1920s. That's when they separated because the Mormons wouldn't stop sleeping with children.
Oh.
Ah,
Yeah.
the
We need
when
to
I
touch
stopped
on that
sleeping with
because there's a
children,
lot of sleeping with children in this religious thing.
The Mormons are known to do that. Like, they're known to have the multiple wives. They're known to sleep with children underage.
Why is that?
And for the longest we were, like, I'm sure there's other documentation. That's the reason why we separated. But, like, one of the most privileged things is during that time in the early 1900s, a lot of people were discovering what the Mormons were doing. So, like, bad rep is how the Jehovah Witnesses kind of looked at it, because they believe they're the pure religion. They believe they're the true religion. But also, another thing, Mormons were racist. I'm not here to bash Mormons either, but, like, Mormons didn't let black people into their congregation until the 1970s.
Oh, wow.
So Jehovah Witnesses are kind of like Mormons, if you get what I'm trying to say. Just a lot of the hypocrisy that exists within that religion doesn't come over there. Every religion has hypocrisy, though. I will not say that they are clean to a fault. Because, like how I say, I'm spiritual, I'm Christian. I can't jump and say I'm Jehovah Witness. I got removed from the congregation when I was 16 years old. So I can't say that. I was raised that. I believe in it, but I'm not an active member of the congregation.
so you got removed from
Yeah.
the congregation.
Yeah.
I want to ask about that.
The misbehaving.
Yeah,
Wow.
you know I like men business.
Misbehaving.
I was always cute. I was always a ting. I always had a boyfriend. So, yeah, I was about to get baptized. It was a horrible story, actually. Me and my sister were like twins. She had a twin who passed away, and she was named after me. I was named after her. So we were like raised like twins, and we were getting baptized that same weekend. And some girls in the congregation didn't like me. So they went to the elders and told the elders, like, she's not really spiritual. She doesn't deserve to get baptized. Mind you, those children, one of the girls who did it actually ended up having a child out of wedlock while she was baptized. So thank you, Jehovah, for that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank
you, my God. My
So,
God,
let me
this food.
understand this, right? So when you're going to get baptized as a Jehovah Witness, they can choose not to baptize you or to kick you out.
You have to do like Bible study. You have to know the Bible. That's why I know my scriptures. You have to know
Okay.
the Bible like the back of your hand. You have to preach to other people. You have to practice that preaching. They make sure you're living that standardized life, that if you're actually actively giving your life to God, it's not like hypocrisy. So basically me having a boyfriend at 16, which I'm 16, it wasn't like I was doing a bunch of stuff. They saw it as hypocrisy, and I wasn't allowed to get baptized. I do think that put me on a route to become who I am today. So I'm not like ever like, oh my God, I hate it. Because my sister, she married an elder. Like, she went the opposite route, princess, like wedding in the congregation, beautiful veil, looking like Audrey Hepburn. And I love that for her. But I know if I would have went that route, I never would have been happy. Look at me sitting here. I am as eccentric as possible. And I say very openly how I feel. I probably would have keep living a life of hypocrisy.
Yeah.
At 16, I was very upset because I was ashamed. Like, I'm African, I'm Liberian, I'm religious, and my pa know I got a boyfriend, like, and I can't get baptized with my other sibling. Me and the other sibling don't even share mom. So now my mom is ashamed because her eldest child can't get baptized. So it was a lot of shame that I had to live with. That's why now I'm very comfortable in myself, because I done got lashed by the people who were supposed to protect me. So it doesn't really affect me. It is sorrowful. They have changed their standards. I was lucky that I wasn't baptized, because when you are baptized, you can't speak to them anymore.
What do you mean?
What do you mean you can't speak to
Oh,
them?
they disfellowship you, that you cannot communicate with your family.
Oh, if
When
you're
you get baptized?
If
you're
you
not
get baptized,
Uh-huh.
and they remove you from the congregation, and if any of your family is in that congregation, they are not allowed to speak to you. That was a rule up to 2 years ago.
Wow, that's
They-
harsh.
It was very harsh. So my sister, she's the eldest sister, she married a man who was disfellowshipped. And my parents came to the wedding because they weren't not going to come to their child's wedding.
Wow.
But my sibling, my one brother didn't come, who is the elder. And my one sister didn't come, who was the elder. Mind you, I said I got two moms. She's from a different mom. So I felt bad because none of her siblings came. All her siblings from the other mom came. So
That's
it really
harsh.
does low-key destroy families.
Yeah.
That's why I can't sit here and be like, I Jehovah Witness today, because I don't agree with all their principles. But I do am appreciative of the Bible and learning it growing up and knowing it. Like, it gave me a lot of good morals and compasses that even now when I sit on this podcast, I know how to speak. Jehovah Witnesses have a thing. We call it the talks. We go and we sit in front of people. I was like 12 years old writing scripts.
That's amazing.
With Bible scriptures to present in front of like 120 people in the congregation. That's why I can sit here and talk to y'all and be very comfortable and eloquent and know what I'm saying because I was raised like that. So I don't have any hatred towards the religion. It's just it was a time in my life and something I had to go through.
What's about the stuff the one that you can help or your dying ones or your loved ones that you can give them blood?
So they believe, they believe your blood is your blood, and their blood is their blood. You cannot pass blood. You cannot share blood. You cannot
So they
eat
don't
blood.
do blood transfusion.
No blood transfusion. So if you are sadly like something is wrong with you,
Dang.
So when you die, you just die.
You just die.
Dang.
when your time to go, that's how they look at it. So the governing body is what they call it. They say that the governing body feeds us information, and that's the reason why we eventually change. That's why they removed the disfellowship law. Like, it used to be harsh, like no communication. And if we find out communication, basically you could get disfellowshipped as well because you're communicating with somebody who is worldly. They just lifted that. But with me, it makes me uncomfortable because you got to think of all the years of pain and bitterness that sits in someone's heart. My sister called me trying to be like, it's okay, come back, like, we love you, blah, blah,
But it's
blah.
hard now
I was
because
16 years old and I got treated like the scarlet letter A. I had to become a really strong person. And the people attacking me weren't people in the streets. They were people who I knew since I was like 7.
To hurt
And
you
you know,
more.
that's my thing with religion because I feel like that sometimes they're just so hard on people. We're supposed to be more loving, more accepting, but it's like the total opposite.
I had a cousin. Oh, sorry. I had a cousin who was like disfellowshipped, and I always spoke to him growing up. I didn't care about none of that because he was cool. And around the time I was like turning 16, he would always like have eye-opening conversations like, so do you believe in this and do you believe in that? And that's, I won't blame him for where my questioning came in, but it gave me space and room to be like, this is not the only way to live my
There's
life.
other ways.
And I am allowed to live in other ways. He was a successful man, worked for JP Morgan, loved his kids, moved him to Cali. And his whole family, everyone elder, everyone a baptized publisher, hip hop, OG in the congregation. Everybody know the people last name, and it's like he was the one kid who was disfellowshipped, and I always heard about like he's so bad, and they just paint this demoralizing picture of you because they live a certain way, and I don't think that's fair in religion whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because I gotta accept you for all your flaws. Why can't I?
Why can't you accept me for all my flaws? And I think that's one of the biggest issue with religion because we're not so accepting of everybody. And for me, the way I always view it is I don't care what religion you are, right? It's the way you treat me. Or it's the way you treat other people. It's the way you are to people. That says a lot about you than anything else because you can say, oh, I'm Christian or I'm Jehovah Witness. And you're not a good human being. And you don't treat people with kindness. You don't treat people with love. You don't. Then it's like, what are we really doing?
So there's a Bible scripture that says half of the people, we call it the truth, half of the people in the truth are only there to get the other half out. Just like the devil can send his spies into the congregation. They think they're working through the spirit of the Lord, but they're really working through the spirit of the devil. And they're the ones who create so much commotion within the congregation. I experienced that personally.
Religion is a distraction. Religion.
Elaborate on that.
The discussion, my brother. Tell us about it.
It is. Religion got us looking for God, also ourselves, when God is right within us. So, speaking of religion, right? There are so many religions in the world.
Yeah, it is.
So many. And the first thing that when we speak of religion, as soon as you tell people your religion, they look at you different.
Yeah, it brings that
It
divide.
segregates you. It divides you. Muslims, Christian. So my name is Nabil Abbas, right? I was born and raised by the Muslim father.
I assume that.
Yeah, I went to Muslim schools and I learned a little bit. I did IRK, Islamic religion knowledge. I touched other further bases on Islam. All right. And I had an opportunity also to get acquainted with Christianity. And I read the Bible, all the beautiful thing, the story of Christ and all of that. But what we actually face with today is division.
Yeah.
Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, we are just one people.
Yeah.
And when I speak of looking for God outside yourself, when God is within us, it's just exactly what you said, Emily. God is within us, because it don't matter where you're born. It don't matter what time you're born, what exactly you was born, which part of the world you was born. You don't need nobody to teach you how to be good, because that ability of knowing who God is within you. Because you wake up every day of your life knowing exactly what to do, because it's always two decisions. You always have that two voices. One is telling you to do the right thing, while the other one is telling you to do the wrong thing. And whenever you do good, you feel it within yourself that you have served the purpose of God.
But I'm gonna have to disagree a little bit with that, because I feel that we need the guidance.
Okay?
We needed to at least set you on the path
Okay?
to know what you're doing. Like as a child, when you're coming up, you need to know which direction you need
a
to.
scale
Yes.
to understand what is
All right,
good and
so
bad.
What is good and bad? You need something
I'm
to
a dive-
lean on.
All right, so let me dive into that a little bit, right?
Yeah.
The word of God cannot change. So if you read the New Testament, right, it said that Jesus said he did not come to condemn, but to fulfill the word of God.
Okay.
And let's go back to the Old Testament. Let's talk about what was written in the whole book of the Old Testament. It was all polygamic.
Yeah.
Cousins marrying cousins, brother marrying sisters. That was written. And when you read the story of Moses, how the Bible described God to be, my God can never be a God of destruction. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can never accept that. I can never accept a story that I'm going to read and tell me that the Spirit of God came down and killed every firstborn of Egypt.
Yeah.
So that part of the Bible portrays God to be an evil God. So I'm not going to sit here in a modern world like this and understand God to be a God that supports evil. I'm sorry, I can't, because every human being has free will. We have free choices.
Yeah.
We choose. We choose to do the right thing. We choose to do the wrong thing. I can look at my child and sacrifice my child. And I look at my brother B's child and sacrifice his child. And at the end of the day, I blame it on the devil. Devil only exists because we want it to exist.
But the thing is, I think what you have to understand is right
I'm
and
talking
wrong.
PPT there, yo.
Right and wrong is different to each person, right?
Yeah.
Something that I may think is completely wrong, Smitty may think is right.
Okay?
So I think
perspective.
having religion and having that moral standard helps us know, okay, I'm not supposed to do this, or I shouldn't do this, or I should not do
But
that.
that's
Give me
why
one example. Give me one example. What you think is right, and I'm gonna think is wrong.
Killing
one basic
someone.
example.
You'll be like, okay,
wrong,
this person did something wrong to me. I'm gonna kill him.
Isn't killing wrong?
No, like for example, right? Remember the example I give the other time in Liberia, right? Where, where the people, the government, the criminal justice system is totally different from how
Yes.
we do stuff here, right? How
Yeah.
when somebody commit a crime,
They just
will
kill the
kill them, they go
person.
to court and all that thing in the process, because they will hold you accountable. Because when you go to court, no matter how much you have, you can be rich, you're not getting out of jail. But in Liberia, if they catch a rule,
They
if
kill
that
you.
rule has money, if the police ain't come and kill that rule, that will get money, that rule will go free. And
Yeah.
that rule will steal again. So by the people basically taking matters into their own hand, that creates safety for other people that's coming around. You understand?
Yeah.
So you might think that's wrong, and I might think that's right because the because behind it. So a lot of times we have to kind of like, we sit here, we talk about religion, right?
Yeah.
We talk about all the bad stuff, right? That's
Yeah.
all I'm hearing, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of good.
Let's talk about the
We
good
didn't get
stuff.
to the good
There's
yet.
some good
There's a lot
stuff,
of
right?
Yeah.
Some good stuff, because if you really take a look at everything that's taking place, even
Yeah.
with America right now, the path America was going, where it was like, oh, let everybody just be who they are.
Be whatever they wanna
That's
be.
what was going on in America.
Yeah.
And then we start to see how dangerous it was becoming.
Yeah.
You understand? So now we have a new president that's saying, oh, God first. They're following the Bible. That's what America was built on.
Okay.
So when you go back to a country like Liberia, where it's like, imagine if you just let the people over there, everybody just be what you want to be, or do whatever you want to do. Be free. You
That's why I
understand?
said the
no
All right.
no sense of godliness.
All right. So take this for example, right? Jesus Christ, right? He said, "I am the way, the truth, and the light. No one comes unto the Father except through me."
That's what the Bible said. You didn't hear him say that.
What?
That's what the Bible
No, that's
said.
what Jesus said. He said that in the book
But
of
that's the
Matthew.
reason why
That's
you
him.
pray in Jesus' name.
That's him.
Yeah.
That's what he said. He said, "I am the way." The New Testament is about Jesus.
I'm saying to you, right? That's what the Bible said Jesus said. So don't say that what Jesus said, because you didn't hear Jesus saying it.
Listen, that's what Jesus said.
Okay.
It was written by Matthew,
Okay.
his disciple. 100%. You're right. I'm not going to argue that, bro. But he said, "I am the way, the truth, and the light. No one comes to the Father except through me."
Yes.
When you look at his path, everything his disciple wrote about him, those were all good things. Those were all beautiful things. His life. He said, "Blessed are the pure in heart. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. And blessed are the peacemaker, for they shall be called sons of man." Now, I'm not going to sit here and support the scripture of the part of the Bible that tells me that God is forgiving God, that God is going to forgive me 70 times 7. Bro, do you really understand what it means to wrong human or to do things 70 times 7 times?
Forgiveness
different
isn't
times,
for
and
others.
ask God to forgive you? And let's look at the Catholic faith. I like to speak on the Catholic faith, right? As an example.
The Cali people?
They have a
Yes.
confession Monday.
Yeah.
Look at this, a confession Monday. I hurt you. I did a lot of wrong things to you. I didn't come to you to ask you for forgiveness. I hurt you. But instead of me coming to you and ask you for forgiveness,
I go tell the priest.
I go to the priest and go and confess
and the
my
priest
sin
talk
to the
The
priest.
priest will talk to God for you,
And then the
right?
priest tell you go and sin. No, bro. I mean, that is the biggest lie I've ever seen. That is blasphemy, bro.
So-
if you hurt a man, you take accountability of your actions. You find who you hurt.
And you apologize.
You apologize to him, and
First.
then and then you can take that from there.
No, but I don't agree with that. You know why I don't agree with that? What hurt, right?
Yeah.
You understand what hurt is, right? Hurt is a feeling thing, right? How
Yeah.
you feel. So maybe whatever that person did to that individual, it wasn't wrong in the eyes of God, right? So
I should go to the priest.
I'm just saying, if they go talk to the priest go talk to God, maybe God will confirm if that wrong or right. Because
So-
if you imagine, sometimes you might think I do something wrong to you, but me myself, I think it's wrong, right? And you might be hurt about something I did to you, right? And so that's where it comes down to everybody operating off their own reality system, right?
Yes.
That's
But
one
do you
thing
guys
that's going
believe
on.
churches are now becoming
So you're simply trying to
businesses?
tell me, that when you do wrong as a person, you don't know you do wrong? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
As an individual,
Yeah.
if I do something wrong to somebody,
Yeah, no, you. You telling me as a person that if you do wrong, you don't know you do wrong?
All right, gentlemen,
no,
let's,
every
let's,
human
let's
being.
come back.
No,
because I'm
Every
losing you
human
guys.
being, every human being,
know they feel when they do something
every
wrong.
human being feel when you do something wrong, when
I'm
you do
gonna have to
something right.
disagree with you, Nabil, because if you notice that back in the day, there's been a lot of serious killer. There's been people holding women hostage. There's been a lot of what do they call them when they have like that little.
Schizophrenia?
No. It's like a tribe. It's not really a tribe. What is it called?
The Vikings?
Cults.
Yeah, they have those cults and they're killing people and they feel that they are doing the right thing in their mind.
No,
they're doing
how
what's
about-
no.
right.
Guess
No,
what?
no,
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 because
no, how
back
about
in the
that girl?
days,
How about that
back
girl?
in the days, they had the good ones. Emily, it's all about choice. The life we live is all about choice.
But
So do
people
you
can
guys-
be brainwashed.
People choose to be bad.
People can be brainwashed.
People
Hold on,
choose to
hold
be
on,
bad.
hold
Why?
on, hold on.
Or why other people choose to be
Hold
good?
on,
What's
hold
the
on.
reality, Nabil?
So a lot of people have early onset schizophrenia, and it's a true thing. Like when it comes to religion, early onset schizophrenia starts around 26, 27, 28. That's when you start seeing people become like really religious or
Yeah.
like finding their definition of religion or getting into that, speaking to people and spiritual moments. And a lot of scientists, to pull it from that corner, do say like it's just early onset mental illness. Like when it comes to religion, like it's a frenzy. Like they basically create it in their head. And not to say religion is something we create in our head, but it is sometimes like I don't know. You can't have dream, around certain people. It's
Let's
like that.
tie this back to Liberia. So, do you guys feel like churches have become businesses in Liberia? I understand why it was started back in the day, right? Because I feel like as people, we need something to hold on to. There's not a lot of depression. There's not a lot of suicide. There's not a lot of other things compared to other country because we have that. You know, when you have something going on, you can pray about it because, you know, the teachers, you know, there's a God, there's this, there's that. So I feel like we do need that. There's not a drug issue. Like if I have a problem, I know that there's a God, I can go and pray to him, whether you may or may not disagree. So I understand where that stems from, right? But do you think now they have turned it into businesses? Because I feel like there's more churches than there's probably is schools, than there is hospital, than there is anything
Did
else.
Speak about the Nigerian pastor who came a couple months ago.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, remember they were putting money together for him or something like
Man,
that.
sold out the stadium.
He sold out.
All I've been after the beginning of doing music,
So
so, right? It just
so you
10,
see-
12 years.
For me,
They can't even pack that stadium halfway.
for me, how I operate, right? I do have a spiritual head, yes. But me and God, we didn't cut us peace.
You go talk to him yourself.
I didn't do nothing wrong to him that he can hear me.
So are you trying to say you don't go to church?
I talked to my father. What is the church? The church is you.
Okay.
Or the building is not the church.
So you
or the temple
you're
of God
answering
is the temple of God is you.
So you're answering my question that yes, churches are becoming businesses.
Yeah, churches
But the
are-
church business is one of the biggest businesses in the world. It's not just Liberia.
And if you guys ever notice that churches are really, really big and they tend to capitalize on poor people in poor countries.
emotions.
The organizations, yeah.
Yes.
It's an organization, yeah.
Emotion based. They target emotions and they target where you at mentally, and they understand that and they benefit off of that.
I'll give an example, right? I had a guy that was editing for me. He was my video editor, and he's poor. He's from a really underdeveloped country, and right before the holiday, he told me he have to quit his job, and I was like, "Oh, why? What happened?" Because he had just graduated, and he didn't have any work, and this is how he was feeding his entire family. And he said that his pastor told him to leave the things of the world, and focus on God.
Yeah, so they
Okay.
can suffer. They call it worldly
Let's
people.
just-
Yeah, leave this worldly people and focus on things of the. And I was so hurt for him because I'm like, why would a pastor
Have
tell
that
you
much
to
control.
do that and know that you're in the position where you need to feed your family, you need to feed your children, and say, oh, don't edit video for anybody. Those are things of the world. Focus on God, and God will make a
And
way.
it's something as simple as editing videos. They look at
Editing
as
video, and it's not
worldly.
nude video because I'm not naked.
I being a small marijuana.
So
I being a small marijuana.
No.
In the video.
no, he doesn't. But I say that to
'Cause
say
we're
that,
beginning
you
it.
know, they kind of capitalize on poor people instead of, you know, encouraging and helping people do better. We don't do that.
No, you look at cities like Philadelphia. It's a church on every block on Woodland Avenue, correct? Like,
Correct.
Church. It's a hustle.
Like,
And when you compare that to let's compare the Liberian churches to the Nigerian churches, right? Because my husband was telling me his church that he grew up in, they do a lot of programs. Like they teach people IT. They have nursing programs. They have lawyer programs. Like they do a lot to educate the congregation, to teach them so they can do well.
better members of the community.
Better members of the community, better member of the church. Because the pastor philosophy
That
is,
just 3 or
if
4
all of my members are well off, I have nothing to worry about.
That
That
just-
pastor, you know what the pastor got gifted on his birthday? They gifted him a brand new Mercedes-Benz that he don't have to pay for. Why? Because everybody in the church is well
Yeah,
off,
we're
and they
rich.
make sure that everybody is taken care of.
That's just 3% out of all of 1,000 in
But
Nigeria.
I'm saying why we don't do that in our Liberian church. A lot of Liberian churches, we're not educating, we're not helping, we're just there telling people what they want to hear. Oh, your husband is coming. You're single, your husband is coming. Continue to pray, your husband is coming.
No,
I mean,
No.
let me just say something to all the ladies.
I'm a
out
member
there.
of Jubilee.
And a husband.
No, let me just tell ladies out there. Let me just tell you something, right?
Yeah.
God get real work to do. God got to save people in their life. You think God get telling me go find men for you? I go find a woman. Tell my God will bring my husband one day, or God one day God will bring a man of my dream. You better go find your own man in.
So
There are churches in Liberia that gives out to orphanage.
okay.
Yeah, Jubilee.
I'm not saying all of the churches.
So what that mean? She get talking about they get talking about
He
giving.
give- yeah,
they
he
get
give-
talking about they get talking
empowering
about
the
taking
members.
you.
Yeah, he gives-
to go show you how to fish it, not
Yeah.
to give you fish to eat one day, and you not and then you don't know
Jubilee
you get
do
fish
that.
there. How?
Jubilee do that.
How?
He
What,
said
what kind of
I mean,
program?
He have a program, bro.
What the program called, my man?
Jubilee gives scholarship.
That's amazing.
What's the no? A scholarship is not a program.
Bro, wait, what you talking about?
It's a program.
Scholarship is
Jubilee,
not,
bro.
Scho-
It is.
Scho-
It
see,
is.
See,
It
see,
is.
see,
Jubilee.
you see, that's the
Jubilee
problem.
do that.
Right? That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
You literally giving your responsibility to somebody else. If you get scholarship, you send that child to go to school. Somebody got to teach them that you're not doing. That's one problem with facing Liberia, right? People be like, oh, I'm paying for a fortune and then school fee in Liberia to go to school. And you think you're doing something amazing. You're not.
That's doing something amazing.
You're
Why
not.
do you
If
not
you-
think that's
Because
amazing?
because the
Base.
people in Liberia, right?
Yeah.
The people in Liberia, they need one-on-one information, right? They need to feed, like for example, right? If you never been around something before, you don't think it's possible. That's how life is.
But
there's
Biz.
a lot of things. Hold on, record. Let me learn. There's a lot of things about me that changed about me. A lot of ways I started to move when I start to be around certain kind of people.
Okay.
And I start to real see how they operate, like their day-to-day activity, their financial activity, what they
Okay.
spend money on, what they don't spend money on. So
Okay.
when you outside looking, when you outside looking inside, you always see different things. And then you start to operate as an individual, right? So these kids in Liberia,
Who you helping Nana one-on-one?
one-on-one.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I go to Liberia, picking that around, help them mentally.
No, but that's
if
the
you don't
thing.
feel for me, that's on you.
That's the
God.
thing, right? If I can't be there to help you 101, isn't it better for me to support you to
No,
go to
but
school?
no, but we need to be there.
They eat the
No,
money
but we
too
can't
much.
be there.
Why?
So you
But they
gotta.
eat the money.
What's the-
Like he
what-
has a point. They eat
what's
the
the
money.
reason
They
for us
smoke
not to
the
be
money.
there?
They don't
But
do
not
nothing.
everyone, though.
It's not in all cases.
Emily, always,
80%.
Emily,
It's
always,
not in all cases.
Emily, you
90%
always
they're eating the
running
money.
about being physically in Liberia.
It's not
Every
in
time I
all
say to
cases.
you about being physical in Liberia, you always find a way to escape the corner. Why
Because
you can't
this is the way I
It's
look-
someone.
Let me speak on
It's
this, right?
someone who is not a parent to a child.
Where?
Provide a scholarship that takes that child from elementary
said what, somebody do
up to a college level.
Somebody do it?
Are you telling me that's not a help?
Somebody do it?
If the person is not the child,
If the person
parent.
chooses to apply themselves, it is a great help. The
are you
problem
talking
in
about, bro?
Liberia is that people do not
Bro.
apply themselves.
But that's not everyone, and that's
no,
a
but
chance
it's
that
a
you have to
majority.
take.
It's a great majority.
Okay, let's take the U.S. for example,
That's
because
not
we're
the
focusing
majority.
on Liberia.
My majority.
Let's take the people in the U.S. for example. If you have
Don't
10
escape my
people,
question. Answer my question before you go.
let me
over there.
answer that question, then I'll come to your
Okay.
question. If you have 10 people that you want to support to go to college here, there's not a chance that all 10 of them are going to go. There are maybe out of 5 that may go.
So, but the
it's
problem
the same
that
with Liberia.
exists with the whole taking care of them, they live on a system now that you take care of them. So to the 30% who didn't apply themselves, they still think they're going to get taken care of like the rest of the 70% who applied themselves.
Yes, but it's better to try to help. And that's like seeing somebody on the street, right? That they may be doing drugs and they're begging for food and you give them $5. They might use that $5
Oh, no,
to
you
go
won't
buy
get the
drugs.
5, but you ain't going to get the 10.
But they might go get, exactly. So it's better to help someone than to do nothing
yeah, but
at
when
all.
they don't get the 10, the entitlement comes. And then that's when they say you don't take care of nobody. And it's blah,
Now
blah,
let
blah.
me answer your
Yeah, go ahead.
question.
Answer my question. Why
Let me
why
ans-
physically? I haven't really physically heard you say you won't put your body physically in that place.
Because my body being physical in Liberia is not doing anybody any good. That's just me going for my own enjoyment. You know how much a plane ticket to go to Liberia?
Facts.
No, but
So that
no,
plane ticket money,
Facts,
why can't
yeah.
I give that money to somebody that
no,
can do
Facts.
something
You got-
for
no,
them?
no, Queen, you gotta show them.
No,
Facts.
the problem,
I don't
right?
need to
show them.
That's
You
the
do.
problem.
We
That's
do
the
have
problem
to
about
show
the
them.
problem
They don't
about
be knowing better.
That's the problem, right? That we're facing, right?
No.
I'm telling you. The problem we're facing in Liberia, you give somebody money that don't know what the value of money is. right?
Okay, we're
You know
going
they're gonna
totally
do with
away
money. No,
from
no, we're
our
not.
topic.
No,
We're
no,
talking
no.
about
No,
religion.
we're talking about religion.
And empowering our community.
We're talking about religion. We're talking about it's a problem in our community.
Right.
So when you give somebody money,
Right.
I don't know what money is, right? Financial literacy and things like that, they don't understand it.
Right.
So you think nobody in Liberia know what money
Exactly.
is, bitch?
We said
Is that what you want to
70%
tell me?
to
Plenty of people
30%.
don't know what money
I
is.
think-
in
Good
Liberia.
I think it's the
30%
people
who
that
don't
you
care.
associate yourself with
Exactly.
who don't know what
That
money
mean-
is,
that
my
mean-
brother.
that
What are you
mean-
talking
that
about?
mean not in 1% that you find in
It's
7
not.
What are you talking
grand.
about?
The people
1%?
who
What are you
associate
talking-
We're talking about
yourself
we're
with.
talking about the whole entire Liberia. You always like to mention, bro.
Bro.
There's a lot of people in Liberia that don't know what to do with money now, Bill.
Okay, let's ask Baze this question, right? When you went to Liberia in December, what
yes.
did you do?
When I went every time I'm in Liberia in December, right?
What did you do? For
You know
the
what I'm saying?
people?
Just my presence in Liberia, right? Is that I'm letting a child know that one day he or she can find himself in a financial position, right? Where they can have financial stability.
How?
That they can hear me now. Hear
You have
me.
to
I'm
show
hearing
them.
you.
Hear
Like a
me.
mentor.
Hear me. Every time I go into Liberia spaces, right? When I'm there, I don't put myself here.
You're talking all happy now.
You're not looking at me from up here, right? I'm eating with you. We're sharing the same spaces.
Okay.
We're going to the same places.
Okay.
You understand? So do you know?
So how are
what
you
that do to
helping
human being
them?
brain?
How are you helping them?
I let that person know one day I can be like this, right?
How?
Because they see me.
But you're not
do-
gonna create
they
an opportunity for them.
They
Exactly.
see. No,
That
hear me
doesn't make
now.
sense,
Hear me.
bitch.
Let me learn. They see me do normal things, right? Because I'm a
Right.
normal person.
Right.
Every great person in this world.
So
right
how is
now,
that gonna
as we speak,
help?
no, hear me. Let me finish. Let me
Oh,
tell you how.
boy.
You don't
Every
listen to your accomplishments.
every every great person. No, people know. They should know. Every great person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every great person, right now, has the same 24 hours as me and you.
Biz, you're not landing.
No.
I'm waiting for you to land.
You have to
because
understand
you're
what
not
I'm
really,
saying. It's not
and y'all
about
got
landing.
completely off our topic. We're talking about religion.
No, we talk about religion. But
Or you had
religion
an
Okay,
opportunity.
here's an example. When he went back
Or you
home,
had an
he went
opportunity.
back to talk to the
Or
children.
you didn't create an
He fed
opportunity for
30
yourself,
children.
bro.
He
Or
gave
your
a
family
speech. He
created
spoke to
opportunity
them.
for
He-
you,
We
bitch.
talking about-
guided
Bro,
them
you
in some
John
type of way.
Grease. Or your
Sometimes-
family created opportunity for you.
My man,
What are you talking about?
Nothing I've inherited came from my family. What are you talking about?
Make
It's
sure
not about what
you-
you inherited,
Everything
bro.
I've been, everything I've made came from.
But they
from-
set the
from-
basics for you.
How?
They set
Gentlemen.
the basics for you.
Gentlemen.
A lot of children back home don't have the basics, bro.
We're off of
My brother,
topic.
my
let's,
brother,
let's go
my
back.
brother. If your
Back
body
to
fishing and go to
topic.
Liberia, you get.
Let's talk about a
Back to
pasta.
topic.
Let's talk about
Right.
pasta. Pasta. I want to talk about
Yes.
pasta.
So speaking of religion in Liberia, there's a lot of false prophets running around.
Before we dive into that, right?
Right.
Let me just say.
Don't even say what was
Let me just say something 1 minute.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
They are part of Liberia. I want to give an example on Liberia, right? That are part of Liberia that religion
That is this.
not
Doesn't
reached there
exist.
yet.
Okay.
There are places in Liberia, Muslims are not there. Christians are not there.
So what are they doing there?
The culture.
Forget about culture.
What are they doing there?
The true religion
Yes.
is embedded in every human being.
And what's that?
Bro, they know how to choose between good and bad.
My man, how you going bad is come from your reality, bro. You always say this. You think people mentally just understand?
Yeah, moral compass is
You need a moral compass to know good and
But
bad.
you have to. It have to be
Yes.
something that you have seen
Something
somebody
has to
do.
guide you.
Or somebody got
And
to
they're
tell you,
being
say, "Oh,
guided
my
by the
man,
elders,
you,
basically.
when you was a child, right? When you was a child, right? When you do something bad, and they whip you.
Let
now
me
you
ask
knew
you
it was
one
bad,
question.
right?
Let me ask you one question. We're giving adults conversation that you're talking about child.
No,
But that's how you become
set
an
a hot water,
adult.
bro. Set a hot water down. A child will walk into hot water. But biz, can you enter a hot water
But
right
when,
now?
But when that child felt.
Can
it
you-
was- it burned
can you-
them.
can
They
you
learned
person-
that hot water burned them. That was a reality.
Can you personally enter in the hot water right
My
now?
brother,
know
because
what
I
before
know
it
it's gonna
make a
burn
man?
me.
So once you have an adult mind and your mind is fully developed,
But you don't just become an adult. You start off as a child, and they say train a child in the way that they will grow, and they won't depart from it. So you have to be taught something,
Children-
so you can grow and know. I have a 1-year-old.
children
If I
are
just let him,
innocent. Children are innocent.
we understand that.
This conversation has nothing to do with a child. A
Well,
child
you
is
need to
innocent.
go from
I
a
just
child and
asked
become
you
an
a question.
adult.
I said,
When you
oh,
have
boy.
a full understanding of who you are, Emily.
How will you have full
When you have
understanding?
a full understanding of who you are, right? Nobody needs to tell you to choose between good and evil. You automatically, as a person,
Back to false prophet.
you know what
because I
drives
feel
you to
like
be
we're
evil?
never gonna.
Or you know what drives you to be evil?
What?
If you
Greed?
can't control jealousy and greed. That's it. But there are places in the world today that ain't no religion, but the people understand the basics. That
But they
is
have some
embedded
type of
in you.
fundamental rules that they follow. They have
every
elders.
society
They have
does.
something that they're following.
Has to be,
They're
my
not
bro.
just born and just living.
Nobody just knows.
So
right or wrong,
back to the
right?
false prophecy.
What do you mean nobody know right or wrong?
Do
Go
you
back to the
think-
false prophet. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we'll touch that another time.
Let's
yeah.
touch that. We can
Yeah.
talk about different type of society another
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Do you think is an issue? Because I talk about churches being businesses and nobody said anything about it.
I mean, they are.
No, it's the biggest
It's
business.
facts.
It's the
We can't
biggest
deny
business
that.
in the world. Yeah, it is. It's not just Liberia one.
But everything,
Yeah.
I think everything in life is a business.
Oh, yes, everything is
Everything
a business.
is a transaction. Like
Yeah.
any relationship is a business. Everything is
Did
a
you,
business.
before you even can go to relationship, did you see the pastor that brought the lady back to life in Liberia?
Oh, that man got publicly flooded in. And you
that is blasphemy.
Wait, first of all, was that a Liberian pastor?
Hold on. Let me.
Was the pastor Liberian
let
or
me
was
give
it
you facts.
Nigerian?
You're Liberian, right?
You're a Liberian pastor.
So let me give you the facts, right?
Give me the facts. We
It
want to hear the
said
facts.
A pastor go by the name Prophet Moses,
Prophet
claimed that he
Moses.
brought back a person from dead. This happened near New Joy Junction. That would happen in Liberia, right?
So, do we have anybody on ground to let us know if the person came back to life or not?
So I think the public flogging we should flog the old man out laying down. We should flog her.
I don't want to dive into that rubbish, bro.
No, but
we
it's the point.
now.
We don't
Yeah, I don't
flog-
wanna
we don't
dive-
flog
no.
all the people out stadium around
Resurrection?
there.
What are you talking about? Resurrection?
I don't want to publicly
I don't
flog anybody
I don't
until we get
publicly flog that
I think that's
pastor.
She had
Moses.
malaria.
Prophet Moses will flog you.
No, she
You
had
were
malaria.
misbehaving at her brother, huh?
She had malaria or she died.
They go
died.
da.
I feel like she died while she wasn't buried, while
So-
she wasn't wrapped somewhere. Like she
So-
was just in her lapa, in the same
So-
clothes.
so-
Or who
She
confirmed
passed
her
in.
dead?
So the people, I guess they brought her from her house. They lay her
Oh,
down,
as soon as she died.
and the man resurrected her.
Okay.
I
so
think that pastor needs to be jailed.
we can't do any public flogging.
And they
because
gotta
we'll
set an
have-
example. What?
Why even though people like you see a
Resurrect.
video?
I don't want to talk
We
over
watched the
it.
video. Watch the man say he bringing the woman back to life. He
It's
laid
a
next to
video.
her.
It's a video. So we don't know. First of all, we don't know who pronounced the woman dead. We don't know if the
I
woman
think the
was
man
even
you're doing
dead.
PR for his chest, brother. Yeah.
We don't know if the woman passed out and the prophet Jack came and
Hey, Prophet Moses.
Help
There's a
her.
prophet.
I will
there's a
confirm
pastor,
her
dead.
Prophet Moses.
Who confirm her dead?
I don't know. I get by. They make him own funeral home sister.
He does?
But I don't know.
I think that man you're running PR on his chest, bro.
Me, let me just tell you who I want to publicly flog.
Oh.
I'm public. I can't even say the word. Public flogging. My public flogging is going to all the Liberian pastors that are in these churches and telling the congregation what they think they want to hear. You'll soon find your husband. The witchcraft that after you this year will die. The other one is happening to you. I'm so sick of you guys. If you don't go ahead and start teaching people the word of God and teaching them to work on themselves and know God for themselves, and if you're not finding a husband, figure out what's wrong with you, work on yourself, get your money up. Nobody's trying to kill you. Nobody's trying to kill your children.
Step your cookies up.
Just figure out your life. You know, I started listening to more Caucasian white pastors preaching, and I noticed the difference, right? The pastors that I started listening to, if you're an impatient person, it teach you words in the Bible. This is how you can work on doing this. If you see that you're having trouble in certain areas of your life, this is what you could do to improve this. This is the reading you need to do. It teaches you to work on you as a person.
Make yourself better.
It doesn't focus on outside external things. Like, oh, the other person stopping you from being successful. They will die this year. Anybody that against you will die this year. You can't find a
they're
husband.
kidding
Your
people
husband
there.
is coming. Like, why are we so
In the
focused
church.
on telling people what to hear in the church
In
instead
the
of
church.
teaching them to just be better human beings and
Oh,
better
wow.
people?
It's more than a shrimp.
So that's about how much he prays.
Oh, shrine, yeah, shrine, yeah. Die by fire. Die by fire. Die by fire. Come on, bro.
I didn't say something like
They're
that.
not gonna change. That's like where they are.
Yeah,
That's what they
yeah.
was raised
Yeah,
with.
that's how I
That's
was
who they
raised.
always are gonna be. The
It's
only
information,
thing
man.
we can do, I guess, is moving forward.
But that's what the
teach
pastor,
better.
as the leader, we should teach better.
The next pastors. will be
Yes,
better.
you should
I don't-
teach
I don't
better.
see
You
it
know,
changing with
let's
new
really
pastors.
teach people. When I started listening to the Caucasian pastor, I became very calm. I was very calm on the inside. You know, I was calm. I knew the word.
See, there's no web pastor there.
I listened to the white pastor. The white pastor didn't actually just teach you. They don't tell you anything. They don't tell me that this year is my year to become millionaire. No white pastor told me I'm going to become millionaire this year. They teach you discipline, hard work.
Consistency.
So they
Consistency.
didn't tell you
Yeah.
that visa going
But
No, they
Consistency.
didn't tell me I was going to get visa. They didn't tell me the person that been holding me back this year would die.
Hey yo, you know, every time at the end of the year, right? Like, cause you're not going to Liberia in December.
Yeah.
The churches be so packed.
Miracle visa.
They keep saying you
Miracle
get
visa.
you come to America next year,
Miracle, yeah.
and
Yeah.
And guess what?
they ain't get passport.
They ain't got passport. They ain't play TV. Ain't anything.
doing
bro.
nothing.
You
Yeah,
understand it right there. How is that going to work?
And it's wrong because these people are depending on you and they're coming to you. So I feel like as a leader, we're supposed to.
They should have
Yeah.
programs for them to
Yeah.
be able to get the DV. For
Yeah,
them to do that.
I think
Yep.
the problem passing can tell you the content, but they tell you content America is struggle. You can be kind to. They get tell you when you lay here, life will be okay for you.
So you see, right? I mean, this is my point. My father did all he could in his way to make me a Muslim. Sent me to the best Muslim school, had Muslim friends,
Yeah.
went to the mosque and prayed, Islam and all of that. At the end of the day, I had to choose.
The religion,
Yeah.
right?
So it's not about what your parents taught you.
No, it's not.
No, bro. There are certain things within yourself. You You just know what good for you as a person.
Yeah, but at least if you have the foundation coming up, like she had the foundation coming up, and
Yeah.
then she grew up, and then she chose
She was-
what
she
she
was
wanted
other
to be.
people. She's saying
And I
other
think
things.
that's what's important. I think every child has to be raised with foundation. I'm not an overly religious person, but when the kids do come, we will be in church. If I agree with everything the pastor said, if I don't agree with everything the pastor said,
Exactly.
I want my child to be smart enough as well to have
To make
healthy
their own
skepticism,
Yeah.
but also to understand that there is a spiritual force guiding you in this world.
Yes.
So
yes.
so
I think
dear
that's
so dear
important.
pastor now bring here y'all please y'all start using the pastor being to
You know, the
organize
pastor
women.
didn't do
there.
that business. The pastor
Yeah.
didn't just looking for way to make money.
It's
And
not organizing it. You're organizing the people in the church wife then. I'm gonna tell you doing that church. They will bring here reliance says more man.
And
I
our
think
people-
our
yeah.
people too need to just know God for themselves.
Our people needs to understand that.
And you're seeing the one and what
No
the people
God.
they can really not just turn the pastor to be God. They start
They
calling
call
the
him
pastor
father.
then daddy.
They call it daddy.
I had I'm not gonna say who, but some person that I know started calling that pastor daddy. They even forgot about God, and it was all about the pastor now.
Yeah, and
This is
sometimes
my-
these women, they run into competition for the pastor.
Yes,
Pastors
why
have
are you
wives and
worshiping the
everything.
pastor?
They will have competition
They
for the
call him
pastor.
daddy and
Somebody
then,
even said a story about a pastor that they had that was doing extremely well. That he was in the church, but then back home he went Liberia. He had a whole girlfriend that he was supporting. I think he even had another kid.
No, I asked
He had another kid.
You actually go some church in Bristol, right? Look, we looked up to that pastor. Like he had a wife, cool pastor.
Now why you can't look up to the
pa-
pastor?
The pastor started knocking the thing in the church. The pastor,
What do you mean knocking it in the inside?
You know, knocking me, yeah? But I tell you about home.
I just want to clarify.
Pastor said, yeah, they mean just do all kind of things when they go
Because
up
the
They are
ego,
men.
at the end of the day,
They are
the
men.
ego is building them
Yeah.
up, and they're like, "Oh, I gotta take." Men have
They
a
are all
natural
martyrs, yeah.
ambition to hunt. So if they got a bounty of deers in front of them, they come and feast.
I like to
Yeah.
I like to tap in a little bit on the churches.
Mm-hmm.
The favorite scripture, Malachi 3:8, that man shall not rob God of the 10%, which is the tithe. You got a whole congregation, for God in heaven's sake, paying a tithe to an individual. We agree. You got to keep the ministry up.
You got to keep the ministry
You got to
running.
keep
the lights on.
the lights on, the expensive, and all of that. But at least at the end of every quarter of a year, or probably every 2 quarters, or probably a year, look back in that congregation and touch one individual life.
Yeah, I agree.
Make that miracle come true through you.
Yep.
And most of the time too, right? When people are sick back home, they go to the churches to pray. Or the pastor send a team outside to go and pray. But when the pastor is sick, he goes to the hospital. You understand?
I mean, you can still go to the hospital and pray. Two
Agree.
things can happen at the same time.
If you speak of not robbing God of the 10%, come on, Emily, spare me that.
So send him to the hospital, right?
Ain't nobody got Western Union. Ain't nobody sending money to God in heaven, bro. God does not have a bank account.
But the
10%
churches
go-
have to keep running.
Yeah,
you got to
that's it.
keep the churches
You gotta do
running.
But the
Goodies.
10%,
Goodies.
the 10% sometimes is way too much, Emily.
But it's not. It's
Look
not
back to your
forced.
congregation
It's not forced.
and do that instant miracle and touch somebody else's life just within that congregation.
So the churches
You
themselves
can make
still
a
have
change.
a lot more work to do.
Yeah, you can make a change.
So when you start your church, you'll do a whole lot. I'm hoping.
Oh my
Bro,
God.
I'm not church. You start church, my man.
Oh my God. If I'm a pastor, bro, I mean, if God called me, who am I to say no?
I think
I thought the
I
man just said at the beginning that
think I better see.
you still confusing in 2025.
Proverbs chapter 1 verse 5.
You
A
just
wise
said you
man
was-
will hear and will increase, learning, and the man of understanding shall attend to the wise counsel.
But I thought you said you didn't
I
have any
never
religion.
sat here and tell you that
say that.
I don't believe in God. I
never
said
said-
religion. Let me repeat myself.
That's very
religion is a society. I'm not limited.
Okay.
I'm not limited to be restricted to a group of individual people who will only cause conflict and chaos in the world.
So when God called-
Christianity.
so-
Look at what
so-
happened today.
so when
The
God
whole
called
world
you-
sits there. The whole world sits there and watch the war between Israel and Palestine. The only reason why the war has not captured it yet, you know why?
Why?
Because it's religiously spoken that God promised people. God promised the Israelites that land. God don't promise, my people. God fulfill. God is not man to promise. God fulfill. Those things are conspiracy. God is not going to bring division.
You're not getting my brother.
Religion is a society, my people. It's only meant to divide you and I from looking outside ourselves. Why should I sit here, me being a Christian and you being a Muslim, and we and I feel within ourselves that you serving a God that is greater than my God, when you and I have the same ability to choose between good and evil? That's just my point. You got good Muslims, you got bad Muslims, you got good Christians, you got bad Christians.
So
you got people who don't even believe in Islam and in Christianity, who are Buddhism. They are the most peaceful people in the world. So are you gonna tell me that God is just a Muslim or God is just a Christian?
But
no,
I don't think.
No, we wrong. We wrong to think as a people that God have a special group of people. Like everybody thinks that God favored the Jews. What are you talking about? God don't favor the Jews. God created every man in his and her own image.
But who said God favored the Jews?
It's written in the Bible.
The Jews feed that God.
It's written in the Bible.
That's
And guess what?
what
And guess what? Let me tell you, Israel.
Oh boy.
10%. It's only 10% of the population of Israel that are Christian. 90% don't even know who Jesus is. Facts.
We hear your point.
90% don't even. They are Jews. They are not Christians. Israel,
We
they are
not gonna
Jews. They
let
are not
you-
Christians.
I think you landed on your point.
Yeah.
And we get it. But the moral of this whole story is you can be Muslim, you can be Christian, you can be Jehovah Witness, you can be Buddhist. Just be a good human being. Treat people with love. Treat people with respect.
Just be a good human being, because God is within you. You can go looking for God elsewhere.
Yes.
We will learn. We was learned about these things.
Okay.
They brought religion to us, but no, you not learn how to be. You was never taught to do the right thing. You were never taught to be who you are. You feel it within yourself. That's what I'm
Okay.
trying to say.
So the
There's this
golden
beauty within
rule-
yourself that you know what you do good or you know what you do wrong
I
as
think
a
we
person.
can end it on the golden rule which is treat people the way you want to be treated. So that's it. If we all just go around treating people the way we want to be treated, I think that will solve half of the world problem.
Correct.
For example, right?
Oh,
No, let me just give an example. No, it's not about history.
I think we're
Hey,
gonna
man,
come to
man.
you.
I just want to give an
They've been waiting
example.
for a while.
I just want to give an example.
Let me get
I just want to give an example. Marriages are affected by religion today.
Why? How so?
Oh, when you're Christian, you get married in a Muslim family. A lot of countries is not going to allow that.
And I know the reason why.
I think because you guys don't have the same morals, my man.
You guys don't have the same morals.
That's what it
And
comes down
I can
to.
speak on that because my ex-husband was Muslim.
What are you talking about
You have the
morals?
same morals.
Yes, I
my
was
man.
married before.
What are you talking
before
about?
my current husband.
What are you talking about morals,
love that
bro?
you
What
know you
are you-
It's true.
What are you talking about
And
morals?
Yes.
It's just the idea.
Listen to me.
They gotta tell
Let
you,
me speak from experience,
yes,
right?
they gotta
I'm
tell.
someone who met a man very young.
Yeah.
And we both, when you're young, you don't think religion is an issue because you're like, if I love you and you love me, and we're going to be together and we're going to live our life the way we think, and we don't think religion is that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And he was Muslim and I'm Christian. And we met and we got married. And it didn't work. So I understand why a lot of the time people don't think it's a good idea because the way you practice and the things you want to do is not the way that I practice and the way that I want to do things.
The scripture says to...
We are unyoke.
Yeah, that's the scripture.
We're unyoke.
Yeah.
So I understand from that point, but if two individuals respect each other culture or religion, believe, and you like, okay, I'm gonna let you do you, and I'm gonna let you do you, but that's still gonna be hard because you have to, as a pair, you have to pray together, you have to move together, you have to do things together. So me
also have
marrying
to
a Muslim
understand.
man, and now he wants me to cover my hair, and you met me, I didn't cover my hair. I'm not gonna cover my hair.
You're just in the why behind people do why people
Exactly.
do stuff. If you don't understand the why, it becomes an issue. So a lot of things is based off, like I said, reality, how you was
Moral
raised,
values. So
people you're
sometimes that's why
around.
they
So
say
it's
it won't
not-
work.
And now we come back to the same thing. That religions bring a lot of segregation and divisions in
Everyone
human
has their
race.
way of life and
Yeah,
everyone
but it
has
has
their
good things to
standards.
what.
That-
They have good
that's
things to
just
bring
it.
to my man.
They have
Sorry?
good things and bad
Religion has some
things.
good things that
Oh
it
yeah,
brings to society.
I'm not disputing that.
It has a lot of great things it brings to society.
I'm not disputing that, but it have a lot of bad things.
It does have a lot of bad, but I
Support-
think sometimes the good outweighs
supporting
the
the
bad.
structure.
I think the good outweigh the bad.
If
So religion, can you agree with me with that?
Sorry.
I think the good in religion outweighs the bad.
I
Can you
honestly
agree
think the
with
good
that?
outweighs the bad.
No, I don't agree with you with that.
So you did the evil.
I don't agree with you.
The evil. Which one more than a friend?
50-50. Yeah, the good.
Nobody don't teach you how to be good or bad. I
We're
believe
not going to
religion.
focus on that because I do.
That's
think
the idea of it, bro. That's the idea of the whole entire religion thing we
So you
talking
just
about.
so every bad thing you ever done, you felt it when you was doing it.
Of course.
But that's
For
you,
me-
though. That's just how
for
you
me-
were
So when
brought up.
drinking liquor, how you can feel?
For me,
when drinking liquor, how you
for me personally,
So when you drink liquor, how you can feel?
for me
That's
personally,
the question.
for me personally,
When you drink liquor, how you can feel?
I'm sinning against God and I'm sinning against myself.
Do you
But
think
you
drinking
continue
liquor
to
is
do
bad
it.
or good?
I'm sinning against God. What?
You just
Drinking
bought me
liquor
a
that
bottle
bottle
of
good.
Don Julio. You
I
lied so
understand.
much, yo.
I understand the consequences of alcohol.
No, I'm saying
I can tell you in depth.
Is it a good or bad thing?
I
to do?
cool. Spirit, I cool. What?
Is it a good or bad thing?
I don't abuse it.
Is it no?
Okay, guys.
Is it a good thing?
Is it
Is it a good thing to me?
Is it a good or bad
Is it
thing?
a good thing to me?
Gentlemen,
To me, because I don't abuse it.
gentlemen.
We have to
they're
close the floor.
2025.
I don't
We're not
abuse
gonna be-
alcohol.
But it's not
We
good
have
for
to
the
close the
body,
floor.
though.
We're
What?
not going to be
It's not good for the
arguing.
body.
But you heard what I said?
We
I'm
arguing.
sinning against myself and I'm sinning against God. I'm not
boy.
sinning against you.
But is
I
it a
think we're
good or
going to
bad
have to
thing?
send help this time around.
At a point of time, sometimes it's good.
Bass.
Sometimes it's good, definitely.
No, my brother. I just want
if
to
I just
understand.
walk
What,
off?
I just want to understand how
No,
we see good or
can
bad.
we end this so we can
Bro,
wrap it
if I
up?
drink my
Bath.
alcohol,
Can you please
it
listen
makes
to me
me
for
feel
a second?
relaxed. It makes me feel chill. I'm
Can
not
you-
drinking to abuse you.
Can I bring it back?
I'm not drinking to
Hello?
rob you. So how is that bad to you?
It's not good for the
Jesus.
body.
How is it your body or is it my body? That's what I said. I'm sinning against myself and I'm sinning against God.
I'm gonna walk off.
Yes. So
That's pretty much it.
I don't even know where we
We'll,
end up
we'll
with this
keep this for
religion
another
topic.
day.
Let me tell you something,
We'll do a
right?
topic.
I'm a man.
We'll do a topic
Bye.
on good and bad. We
I'm
have
a
to,
man. Listen,
'cause I
I'm a
need to
man.
understand-
I'm a man. I
Oh,
hold myself
Lord.
accountable for my actions. I don't do things that go
All right,
blame it on the
we're
devil,
gonna
my
we're gonna
boy.
end this episode here. I'm sorry we did not touch too much on religion.
I don't
but-
do anything and blame it on the devil.
Yes, next time I think we'll have maybe religion leaders to come and lead the topic. That way we can better dive into it. So we're just gonna wrap it up here.
I don't
Bas.
need nobody to tell me about God.
We need to do an episode good and bad. I tell you, we need to do a good bad episode, my man. Because I need we need to do a good bad episode.
I'm not limited. What are you talking about? I'm not
We need to do a good bad episode.
I'm a man. I hold myself accountable for my actions.